Hey guys, so today I am a bit indecisive as to whether or not I should do a curry or a stew for my guys because my husband says stew, but my son says curry. So I am gonna make what they call a curry stew. So far, I have some pre-seasoned chicken legs. You can call these drumsticks, and these are with these were basically seasoned with garlic, salt, pepper, dried onions, thyme, and dried herb blend. And over here I have all my spices. I am going to add some curry before I put the stew in. Over here I have some roughly chopped onions, carrots, celery, sweet peppers, potatoes, garlic, and this in my country we call this, some people say it's a big leaf thyme, some people call it a tiki thyme, but it to me it's a mixture of thyme and cilantro, and it's really yummy. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some curry powder to the pre-seasoned drumsticks. There we have it, and we're gonna get a nice mix on this. Now that the curry is fully incorporated and mixed in, I'm gonna add a dash of cumin. Cumin really helps to bring out the flavor of the curry even more. Okay, now that that's fully incorporated, I'm gonna go ahead. I have my pan heating already. This is a cast iron, and I have coated the pan with oil, and I'm gonna add my brown sugar. I'm gonna be doing this the old school way where we caramelize our sugar to make a browning to make a stew. So the sugar's in and it's bubbling, it's melting and starting to caramelize. Try not to burn this. You have to catch it as soon as it's properly caramelized and add your chicken. All right guys, so once you've added your chicken, you give it some time to start getting the color from the caramel that you've just made. You can stir it a bit to make sure it gets evenly browned, and let it sit for a bit. While I'm letting it do that, I normally would go ahead and I will be adding my onions, some celery, some carrots, and of course some garlic. As the color has started to hold and the browning is coating the chicken, continue to stir it so that you can get all of the pieces nicely colored. And maybe you can keep your heat on like a medium heat at this point. Once it's set to a medium heat, continue to give it small stirs ever so often, and as it cooks down, it's gonna start to produce its own liquids, which is gonna help to flavor it even more. I would just cover this now for about 5 minutes and let it produce its own liquids. All right guys, so 5 minutes later, and I am going to add some of the spices from my spice rack over here. I'm adding some dried thyme. I'm gonna add some more peppers and carrots. I'm also gonna wait for another 5 minutes that it's cooked down before I add my potatoes. I do not want my potatoes to overcook. I want them to be cooked just right and not fall apart to the point where you can't see them. So we're gonna add our potatoes a little later on. So let's just let this cook down, let all the flavors come out, and see how it comes out. It's looking pretty good so far. All right, 5 minutes later, you can check. If you need to add some liquids, feel free to add some chicken stock or some hot water, just enough to help it to keep cooking evenly. I am also gonna be adding some coconut milk, and about a tablespoon of tomato paste. And also 1 chicken Maggie cube. It's like basically chicken based in solid form. Alright guys, so my chicken is midway and looking good, and I'm adding my potatoes. I've already added my Maggie cube, and I'm also adding my tomato paste. So potatoes all in. I'm also gonna just let this sit on top. I'm gonna add the remaining of my carrots and remaining onions just to add flavor. I'm also adding like about 3 tablespoons of coconut milk. This brings the sauce in really nice and gives you a feel of a curry, even though it's more of a stew, but it brings it in really nicely. With all of that being mixed in, I'm now going to add my big leaf thyme, also known as sticky thyme, to the top, and I'm going to cover it and let it cook down. Alright guys, so this has simmered for about 30 minutes and it's looking really good. I am going to go ahead and just finish it with some chopped parsley. Here's a curry flavored stew. In St. Vincent, we would call it a curry stew. I have also made some lime and parsley jasmine rice, and I'm gonna do some butter and garlic broccoli needed to go along with this. I'll share pictures of it later. Thank you guys for cooking with me. Have a good one.